Happy Monday. Welcome into another edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. Meghan, Triplett, and John Roser here with you to recap the weekend that was. And Roser, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, we got some hard-hitting questions this week. So let's start. Oh, it's the shoulder action. I see you.
I saw you were doing it first.
I know I was.
Following your lead.
I was hyped. I was ready. Let's start in the NFL. Look, we are what, 6 weeks into the NFL, and we're gonna do
like a third of the way through the season. Yeah, we're like a third of the way.
Let's overreact here and give a stance that probably is not needed, but we're going to give it to you. After all of the action that you've seen from every single player, do you have an NFL MVP so far that you think could be it at the end of it all?
I know I told you I thought they were frauds, and I still don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl or win the NFC or anything, but Kyler Murray is –
whoa.
I mean, look, that was impressive yesterday. I know Baker got hurt in that game, but they before Baker was hurt, the Cardinals jumped out on them really early and pretty much. I mean, it was never a game. I mean, the Cardinals just went in there without their head coach. I don't think Kingsbury's great or anything, but they still didn't have their head coach on the road in the Eastern Time Zone having to travel, and that was. I mean, they just beat down Cleveland the entire game. The other one we'll see tonight on Monday Night Football, Josh Allen. But I do think Dak Prescott deserves some love. Dak Prescott is to come off that ankle injury and to do what he's doing. Now the thing is with Kyler and with Dak Prescott, they have just an insane load of weapons that they have on their team. So honestly, if I win MVP right now, I think Dak Prescott would be the best story coming off that injury. But I will say Josh Allen. I would say right now it's Josh Allen.
You started with Kyler Murray. I thought you were going to say Kyler Murray. You started with Kyler Murray, then you transition on, and then there's maybe Dak, but I'm not quite sure Dak. Now you ended up on Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen's you know what? Just screw it. I'll go Dak Prescott. I'm going to go Dak Prescott. Josh Allen's the betting favorite right now, but I'm going to go Dak Prescott because I'm not going to give it to a freaking team that's in my division. I'm not giving it to Kyler Murray. So I'll go Dak Prescott.
Look, so I want to just make sure that we get this on tape and on film. So you're saying that you were wrong about the Cardinals being a fraud when I said that was a team to look out for.
Whatever. Screw the Cardinals. I hate that team.
Where did this conversation start and where it ended is not
I'm not giving any love to the Cardinals. I will not do that. I will not do that.
Okay, well, the guy that I'm going to give some love to, you talk about great storylines. You got to say Lamar Jackson and what he's been able to, because you mentioned it. When it comes to Dak and Kyler, they have the weapons. And Lamar, this has been a struggling season for the Ravens when it comes to injuries and COVID protocols and everything that they've had to go. And for what we just saw, and it was a season low when it comes to passing. And yes, he threw 2 picks, but he just beat Justin Herbert and this Chargers team, but look at all the other records that this guy is breaking, and he's not even 25 yet.
He is. I was wrong about him. I was straight up wrong about him. The guy gets better every year, and his accuracy has gotten better every year. Now he's got to do it in the playoffs when you're playing nothing but really good teams and really good defenses. The one thing about that Chargers team is horrible against the run. And so I was kind of worried yesterday about that for them, that they can't stop the Ravens from running. It's going to open up everything for Lamar in the passing game too. But Lamar has become a much better passer. There's no doubt about it. I did not see this coming from him at all. I didn't see it at Louisville, him doing this. it just he was a runner and wasn't very accurate throwing the ball, but he has gotten more and more accurate every season. He's gotten way better. He has surprised me big time. Shout out Devin Walker.
And look at the Ravens now, and we'll see. I think this might be the year that Lamar can do it all over again and be MVP, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's now go into the WNBA because it was a monumental moment this weekend for the WNBA. The Chicago Sky won their first ever WNBA championships. Candace Parker went home in the first season alone. The first season she decides to go home, she wins it for her hometown team. Is this the best WNBA season that you can really remember and reflect on?
It's the one that's I think's gotten the most coverage. Mm-hmm. I have seen more on social media about the WNBA than I ever have in years past. It's definitely gotten more coverage. And so, yeah, and props to Candace Parker. She won with LA, and she had the famous, "This is for Pat," right after Pat Summitt, her college coach at Tennessee, had passed. And then this one, hugging her daughter who had been there with her every step that they showed her daughter when she had won in LA, and how to see how her daughter's grown up. And Candace Parker, I mean, she's an amazing player. She's one of the best women's players of all time. I mean, she's to do it in two different places like this and do it in your first season in your hometown is super impressive. And no, she's awesome. And she's always rep Memphis too. She's a big Grizzlies fan. She likes to
she does.
Always loves Ja.
She does like Ja. We know that they have a relationship. And for me, I feel as if like this, because of the talent alone, the talent that like this season presented itself, Chicago Sky had to take down the number 1 seed in their division when it comes to Connecticut Sun to get past them at first, and then to go up against Phoenix Mercury, where they have their own big three between Skylar Diggins-Smith and Brittany Griner, and then Diana Taurasi, the GOAT, to do what they did, to get it done in 4 games, to get 2 huge victories at home, and how it happened and how it all worked out for this Chicago Sky team, what they had to go through, even with injury. Candace Parker wasn't there at the beginning of the season. Courtney, Vandersloot, Allie Quigley, Diamond DeShields, Stephanie Dolson. I can go on and on. This was like a team effort when it comes to a win, and what a season. I gotta say, I think shout out to WNBA Twitter, Ari. It really did feel that this was the most coverage that a season that it has gotten, but it was the talent alone through so many teams. You really could have gone at the beginning of the season. You didn't know who was going to really end up being at the end of it all. And I don't think a lot of people predicted the Chicago Sky would. And they were. It was absolutely monumental. A great entire playoffs, great series in general. All right, we got to give a shout out to Coach James Wade. He's from Memphis. So you know what? Memphis, show some love. James Wade, head coach, Chicago Sky. He is the WNBA championship head coach. So congrats to him. Let's now get into the NBA, Roser. It's starting a whole new season. Our lives are about to revolve around the NBA. And so let's get some early preseason predictions before everything tips off on Tuesday for the NBA and on Wednesday for the Memphis Grizzlies. First, start off, give me your MVP that you think is going to be at the end of it all.
Giannis is the easy choice.
That's true.
I think Giannis was, I mean, I'm not going to pick him, but he's the easy choice because he won the title now. So I think voters can feel comfortable giving it to him again for the 3rd time. And if that jump shot is real, what we saw in preseason, there's no debate about it that he's the best player in the world if he can do that. There's nothing you can do with him. I am going to say James Harden wins MVP. I think James Harden is going to lead the league in assists. I think Brooklyn's probably going to have one of the 3 best offenses in the history of the NBA, even without Kyrie Irving. I do think Kyrie's going to play eventually. Mm-hmm. But I think James Harden, he kind of went away from that ISO ball when he was in Brooklyn, when he got to Brooklyn, and became more of a real distributor, passing earlier in the shot clock, trusting his teammates more. I say James Harden wins the MVP. Okay, I'm going to go with his teammate. I'm going to go KD. I think this is the season. This is his time. I think a lot of conversation and pressure is on him, and he knows that. He said that they didn't end where they thought it was going to be, but I do think that KD is going to be MVP. I think he's going to just do it all. And because I'm agree with you. I think Kyrie is going to eventually play, but I do think that now it's KD's team, and he's going to lead the way. And I was between Harden and KD, and I went with Harden because I think Harden will play more games. Mm-hmm. That's But I'm right there with you. So did we just really answer the question of who we think is going to be in the finals? We might have given. I think it's Brooklyn, and I'm going to go Denver in the West. The Lakers. I don't. It's not just me being a LeBron hater or anything, but this is 2 of the last 3 years. You're talking the ankle injury, and he had the groin injury. So and he's only getting older. Anthony Davis has nagging injuries all the time. And the Russell Westbrook thing, I don't know how it's going to work all the time because LeBron also likes to dominate the ball. How is that going to work long term? So I'm going to go with Denver to come out of the West. I think when Jamal Murray gets back, I think Denver's going to be able to maintain, because they were last year too. I think Denver's going to be able to maintain. Murray comes back. I think they're going to be good. I don't believe in Utah totally as a playoff team, as a finals team. I'm going to go Denver and Brooklyn. Brooklyn wins the finals. Okay, well, I'm going to go Brooklyn. And the Grizzlies finished 6th in the West. Okay, well, I'm going to go Brooklyn. I'm going to go Brooklyn and Lakers, and I think the Grizzlies are going to finish 5th in the West. I'm going to pull up a notch. I think what we saw in preseason, I'm all in on it, and the NBA season tips off on Tuesday and Grizzlies on Wednesday.